Welcome back to the Man Cave. I'm Reed, and this is Man Cave Guitar Pedal Mania. This video is about a very different kind of pedal. The Teisco Interface Pedal. This isn't even really a guitar effect pedal because by itself it doesn't do anything except allow you to interface with your computer. However, if you have a computer that has a lot of good software, good plugins that you like to use through your DAW or some standalone software that gives you effects and amp models and that kind of thing, this can be a very powerful tool. There are other interfaces on the market, but I don't know of any that are as easy to use as this one, and it's pretty inexpensive. Now, I'll also preface this by saying, ironically, when I looked at my YouTube feed this morning, JHS Pedal Show is doing a show on Tysco pedals today. So if they have something on the interface, you'll probably want to check that out too. It's not really my ambition to keep up with the bigger review channels. I just do what I enjoy. Now, as you can see, the pedal is connected by USB, or I guess Thunderbolt if you're an Apple user, and you just go directly into your computing device of choice. They say you can use a phone, tablet, or a computer. I don't have a tablet, and my phone, I was unable to find software that didn't also need some other form of interface, and that's starting to get to be too much stuff. So I've got it hooked up to my laptop. Now that brings us to our first consideration when using this pedal. Again, by itself, it does nothing. So if you don't own good software, the pedal is completely pointless. I use Amplitude 4. The IK Multimedia has a lot of good sales, and I've picked up a lot of stuff from them over the years for very little money. And I'll show you a few of the things that I like in Amplitude. Now, I also ran into a few limitations with my laptop. Not only is it just one more thing to have to lug around or have near your pedal board. In this case, I had to worry about how I was going to set it up. You can see my second camera here is pointed at my laptop so that I could include some feed from it later in this video. All of that's a bit of a pain. On the plus side, it doesn't need an external power source or a battery. It gets its power from the USB connection. It has a lot of ins and outs. It's got two stereo ins and two stereo outs. I believe you can even use one of the stereo outs as a headphone output if you want to monitor it. In my case, I'm just going straight to my guitar cabinet. So that's a lot of stuff. Other drawbacks I've run into are it's a little difficult to set the sound levels correctly in the software so that when switching back and forth between my guitar rig with actual pedals and the software, trying to keep the sound at the same level, but we'll get into that when I do the demonstration. So let's connect this and see how it sounds. Okay, for this video I'm using the Warmoth guitar that I built with my dad. I'll put a link to that video in the description just because this thing sounds awesome and I don't play it enough. So, if you look over my right shoulder here, I've got Amplitude 4 running, and I'll go through a few effects. So, here is my unaffected tone. That's just got a little reverb from my Boss RV500 and then straight into the front of my Supro Statesman. Now, an effect that I really like is Rotary speaker. And again, I'm running a mono setup, not a stereo setup, so I'm not ping-ponging back and forth between speakers. So I didn't get a really expensive Rotary pedal like a Venti, because I just didn't need a $400 Rotary pedal. But I have a $100 Digitech Ventura pedal and it sounds like this. Which is okay for playing around. It's not the best rotary sound in the world. But now, if you look on over my right shoulder here, I've got a rotary cabinet loaded up in Amplitude 4. So all I have to do is engage my interface pedal. And there are several varieties to choose from here for rotary cabinets. Again, without the computer. And then using the interface through Amplitude 4. I love that sound. Again, this is not an expensive pedal. I think that they are $120 brand new. You can get them cheaper than that used, and they're on sale every place constantly. So I think I paid about $100 for this thing, and it would have been worth it just to be able to get this rotary sound, because I really enjoy that. Now, I've done so many takes of this, I don't know what I will edit out. So I may or may not have mentioned that it's a little difficult to get the sound level exactly correct. I think that's better, levels-wise. It is easy to overdrive the software. You can see my level monitor up in the corner there. It's not so much of a factor with just the rotary cabinet, but let's go to a different effect. So I'm going to go back to just a 1x12. Let's see here, we'll go 1x12 open vintage. Don't think all of that reverb is coming from my onboard reverb. Let's turn that off. Okay, something in Amplitude is running a lot of reverb. I did not go through Amplitude and set up a bunch of sounds before doing this video. I like to do them raw and live, because I actually think that if I struggle with something, that's educational. People can look at this and say, you know, either that guy's an idiot and he can't figure out how to use this pedal, or, well, you know, maybe I'd struggle with that too. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm a home user. I play guitar for my own amusement at home in the man cave. Let's go to... Got a few effects here, as you can see. I have the Ambassador. Love that non-copyright infringing name. It is, of course, a Marshall Governor. I have a Mutron, and I have an electric flanger. I'm not going to run them all at the same time, but let's hear what that what the Overdrive sounds like. I gotta do something about that reverb. Okay, I guess I'm just going to play with it as is. I use Amplitude specifically because they have a lot of sales, and you get a lot of stuff for the money. Lots of amp models and effects and what have you. And I've just picked up a few things here, a few things there over the years, and at the end of the day ended up with a pretty big collection. And because I don't actually record much that wasn't doing me a lot of good. So this interface pedal really allows me to get some extra use, especially for things that I don't have, like a Mutron. Let's go back to the stomp boxes. I'm going to turn off the overdrive. We're going to add that Mutron. Nice. It was definitely an auto wah. Okay. Before I go with the electric flanger. Now I should say I have absolutely no idea if that sounds like an electric mistress. I don't own an electric mistress. I think it sounds good. Very whooshy, so kind of a jet engine flanger. So there's 3 different effects, plus a rotary cabinet, all just for the cost of buying the interface pedal, since I already owned the software. Now, of course, if you don't own the software, then, well, that is an additional outlay of cash, and that is something to consider. Let's add something else. Let's go to a rack effect. Let's see here. A Fender tape echo. Very nice. So clearly there are enough effects in this amplitude package that I would spend all day trying to go through them and demonstrate them. So I'm just showing you a few sounds, but notice everything worked very nicely without the interface. I turned off my reverb, so that's completely dry. With the interface, so all of that's great. Now, let me show you a problem that I have specifically because I'm using an older laptop, and this is something to think about. Their information says you can use a phone or a tablet or a laptop, and my phone turned out to be no good for this type of thing. I don't own a tablet, so I'm using my laptop. It is not a new laptop. It's about 6 years old, and it wasn't an expensive laptop when I bought it. It will run Amplitude, but let me just go to... So Amplitude has hundreds of presets available. I've just loaded up one of my favorites, Deep Shades of Purple, and it sounds like this. Okay, not bad. But when I decide to go to a different preset, let's see here. Can't even see what some of these are. All right, I'm going to go to Deep Flange. Oh, what happened? Well, that's not the interface. That's because my old laptop can't handle changing presets. So what I have to do is then shut down Amplitube and reload it. So that is something to think about. If you're running a state-of-the-art computer rig, you will probably get much better results from this pedal. So what do I think of the Teisco interface? I think it's great. Again, as long as you have the software and a computer rig to hook it up to, I think it's fantastic. There are a lot of products that will allow you to reamp, as they say, but I don't know of one that is less expensive and as effective as the Teisco interface. Again, for me, just being able to go to Amplitube and get those rotary cabinet sounds, that was well worth the money for me. That makes it a fantastic little device. Now, it does add the extra problem of now you have to have a computer, again, or a tablet or phone, I guess, that you're carrying around with you. But I don't play out. I just play here in the man cave, so it's not that big a deal just to set this up, plug it into my laptop, and get the sounds I want. And even if I only use it like for that Mutron, and clearly I'm not a funk player, but every once in a while I like playing with that kind of sound, and now I have it available at my fingertips. So this is an incredibly versatile device, and I haven't had any trouble with it. Knock on guitars. So I hope you found this interesting, and I'll be putting up more videos soon, so I hope that you'll tune in for those. But until then, thank you for watching. I've been Reed. This has been Man Cave Guitar Pedal Mania.